Hey there, Virgos. Welcome. This is going to be your general reading. My name's Tiffany. I don't really have any small talk for you. I'm just going to cut right down to the fucking business. Let's see where you're at right now. Let's see what you're feeling like. I don't know how I feel about doing the shuffling up here or off camera. We're going to figure it out though. Probably going to do both. Ace of Wands. Okay, so I bet you, whoa. I feel like right now you're probably doing pretty well to start up on projects. Like some people are really starting a lot of new things right now. Feels like you. If you're stuck at home, you're finding a way to make it work for you. Because I feel like you're missing what you had. You're really missing what you had. So since you are missing what you had, you're trying to change things. You're trying to morph it into something different. I don't know why I'm keeping that up. We're going to put that down. I've seen like 2 people in the whole world put their cards up like that, and I wanted to try it, but I don't like it now. Unless I can put all the cards up, then I might like it, but I don't at this moment. Anyways, what else do we have going on? So the 9 of Pentacles, that's like it's really flourishing being single, being comfortable in yourself. It's a really content, beautiful card. And then the Page of Wands in reverse, this feels like you're not letting other people's bullshit ruin your happiness. For some of you, it's your kids. You're not gonna let your kids ruin your fucking happiness. Like, God damn it, mommy is starting to crochet and you're gonna sit down and shut the fuck up, whether you want to or not. Not quite that, but like that. Okay, so let's see what you're doing well right now, Virgo. Maybe I should just arrange these in some sort of way. I noticed when I was going through and editing that my cards are just everywhere. I'm the messiest tarot reader. There's no structure, but it's whatever. What are you doing well, Virgo? What is Virgo doing well? Oh shit. Okay. So we got Strength and the Page of Swords. You are... If there's something difficult that needs to be said, you can say it. You've got a way about you where you can just cut right through the bullshit and say exactly what needs to be said. You're not mincing words, and you're not telling people what they want to hear either. Let me get a clarifier for that as well. Oop, sorry. And the Knight of Swords in reverse. Lots of air energy here. So your thoughts and your words, your communication, you're doing pretty good with uncomfortable subjects. You're tackling them basically with ease. Some of you it's going to feel easier than others, but all in all, you're saying hard things. You're thinking tough thoughts. You're facing your problems, you're facing your fears, you're facing these dilemmas and these issues that are coming up for you that maybe you once would have turned away from. Maybe you would have either thrown a temper tantrum or ran away, whatever toxic trait you have for dealing with confrontation. That may have been what you're doing, but now you're learning how to communicate. You're figuring out what healthy communication is and how to do it. That's awesome. Fuck yes. Let's figure out what you need to work on. I'm gonna take that. Ace of Swords. That's interesting. I'm gonna get I'm going to get another. Right now the Tower's in reverse underneath, and that feels significant. I'm getting an idea of what this is, but I want to feel it out more. You need to, this was on the bottom of the deck before when these two came out. So what that's telling me, total side note, what you're doing well and what you need to work on, it's the same thing. It's the same goal. So here, that's what's interesting. We've got the Page of Swords and we've got the Knight of Swords for what you're doing well. What you need to work on is the Ace of Swords. So you're doing all these things, but you don't have the foundation of it all. And look, this is a card about foundations too. This is familial foundations. And then this is balance. The Two of Pentacles, that's balance. The Ace of Swords, that's... The Ace of Swords, that's the beginning of the idea, of the thought, of the communication. It's that sword of truth when you say what you have to say, when you say what's really on your heart, and really cut through all that bullshit like you're doing over here. That's the Ace of Swords, and you don't fully know what or why it is you're saying the things that you're saying. You feel compelled to, and you know that you should. But it's not because you have the conviction behind it. You know it's right, but you don't have that firm foundation built. So you need to really dig down and you need to figure out what's at the core of all of this for you. What do you really think about it? What do you really want to say? You're holding back. There's so many things that you want to say, but they just keep getting caught up in your throat. You can't fucking say them. You're communicating and you're doing a good job, but there's that one fucking thing, and you know what it is. You know exactly what it is, and you're holding it into yourself because you're trying to keep this balance. You think you're going to throw everything off and nothing's going to be okay if you cut right to the fucking chase of it. But that's not true. You're gonna form this stable, balanced foundation by cutting to the core, because the core is weak right now. The core isn't strong enough to hold up all of the branches of whatever it is that you've got going on. So you need to replace it. And in order to do that, you need to just slice right down the fucking middle of it with that Ace of Swords, if that weird winding metaphor made an ounce of sense to you. Let's see what some external challenges are going to be along the way. There's that Tower in reverse. There are things that you have not been dealing with that you thought you dealt with, but really you just kind of pushed them down and pretended that they did not exist. For some of you, it's addictions, people, drugs, food, sex. We can have addictions to lots of things because you're getting discouraged. You're feeling like you've done all this stuff and there's nothing to fucking show for it. Y'all, that's on the bottom of the deck again, okay? I don't know what that means. I'm not... I don't know what I'm doing enough to know what this means, but that means something, okay? Oh, you know what? Let's dive into this, actually. Let's dive into this card. This is a card about wishes, and it's almost be careful what you wish for. You don't, but it's reversed. It's reversed. You're stuck. You're blocked. You're letting old shit control you. That's exactly what that is. You're letting old wounds and cycles that you thought that you had dealt with, but let's be real here, by dealt with, you really just ignored them and tried to move on and pretend that they didn't exist. And that ain't the way you do it. Okay, I charged my camera a little bit. So to recap, Virgo, you're fighting your negative belief system. You don't feel worthy. You don't feel like you deserve any of this stuff. You feel like you've You've tried and everything has just crumbled down around you and you have nothing to show for it, but that's actually not even true. You do have plenty to show for it. It's just, it's still coming up. It's still working. It hasn't broken the surface yet. You've got a little bit. You've seen a little bit of results. You just haven't seen your whole harvest yet, and you're having a hard time with that. So that's external. Let's see what's going on internal. I wonder if it's going to have anything to do with your perspective, because this is focusing on the external, whereas he's focusing on the external. Even, and all of this shit, all of that is internal. All these pentacles underneath right there, that's all internal stuff. But his worry right there is based in the external, if that makes sense. Lots of 7 stuff going on too. Let's figure out what's going on in the internal again, as I said, before I got sidetracked. That's worry. That's it's keeping yourself up at night. It's those negative belief systems that you've been dealing with. That makes sense. What else is going on inside? Queen of Swords in reverse. You feel like a mega bitch for saying all the things that you've been saying. Some of you, it's been setting boundaries. It's not just saying the things that you feel like saying. It's actually setting boundaries. And some of you kind of feel like you might be out of line for it, even though you're not. You're putting a lot of worry into how you're coming off to people. There is so much sword energy here. Big sword energy, though. Big sword energy. This is big stuff that you've been chewing on. This is stuff that you've been dealing with for a while. It's nothing new to you. And it's no surprise either. You're acutely aware of all this stuff that you've got going on. What are some conflicts that could be coming up right? Why do I keep shuffling backwards? What are some conflicts, potential conflicts, Jesus, that you could be seeing? So we've got the Chariot, the Knight of Wands, and the Three of Wands. You're not going to be seeing eye to eye with people that you're working with. You're going to be wanting to go in one direction on some stuff, and they're going to want to be going into another direction. I wonder how much that has to do with this stuff. Hang on. Let's get more on that. Explain this conflict. Okay, great. Explain the conflict. Hello, here's a conflict card. But you know, the Seven of Wands, this is fighting off what you've worked for. And okay, someone's going to try and throw you off your game because you're already off kilter, you're already off balance. Some people it's you, some people you're throwing yourself off, but other people it's an outside person. While you may be frustrated, while you may really be down and out about your harvest not coming in yet, you do know that it's there. You're not in the place of completely giving up yet. You're just having a really tough fucking go of it, okay? So you're waiting. You're waiting for your return to come back. You know it's going to, but you've got someone who's trying to take you in a completely different direction. It's like, you know that if you wait here long enough, The ships are going to come back into the harbor, but you've got someone trying to tell you to go somewhere completely different. Like, hey, why wait on these ships? Come with me. All the cool kids are doing it. And that's going to cause some conflict. How? I want that card. I don't know. You're worried if you go against the grain here, if you buck against whatever system's coming at you, whoever it is that's trying to tell you that you need to do different, you're worried that it's going to put you down in the cold about it almost, that you're going to really lose something valuable, some sense of security or safety. You're worried about losing stuff. You don't want to lose something. What are you afraid to lose, though? Page of Cups in reverse. Ooh, that is way too much. What is that Page of Cups? Like, you're afraid of shattering your whole belief system. You're afraid of losing whatever it is you have. That sounds stupid generic, but like, it is a general reading, so suck my ass, I guess. But like, whoever this person is trying to pull you away from doing whatever it is that you're doing, if you stand firm, it's going to change everything. And I'm not sure that you're ready for everything to be changed quite like that quite yet. You want it to be on your terms, and this doesn't really feel like your terms right now. It feels like you'll get on those terms if you have to, but that's not the way you want to do things. You're really trying to control this situation and make sure that everything goes as smoothly as possible. It's not going to go completely smoothly, but goddamn, you can sure try, you know? What's some general advice to get you through that? And then we'll switch over to some oracle cards. You've got the Star in reverse. Let me clarify that Star in reverse, just for general advice to get you through it. Whoop! Man, more swords, y'all. Holy shit, you are so up in your head. It's not even funny right now. You live in your head. It's like you feel stunted, but it's okay. Quit beating yourself up right now about not starting over. A lot of things changed or came to an end, and you know that it's time to grow back and rebuild, but you're not there yet. You're either licking your wounds or you're in the planning phases. Either way, you're resting and you're biding your time. And that's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just allow that whole thing to happen. Let's switch over to some oracle cards. Let's just find out what do you need to know right now? There's a lot of heavy stuff going on. What do you need to know right now? Pleasure. Assessing. Ooh. And surrender. You know, those all have very similar color schemes too. Some of you really need to be connecting and doing the things that you love. Really go back. Go back and think about how things were, you know, a decade or two ago, depending on how old you are. I don't know, like 10, 15 years back. Technology and the world and everything was so different. I feel like 15 years ago, we had a much better idea of the things that we liked to do when our noses weren't buried in a phone and looking down. You need to figure out what those things are again. And a lot of you have really cut off your relationship with your spirituality, with your higher self, with yourself, period. A lot of you have just kind of chopped that off. and forgotten how good it feels to be comfortable and confident in those things. So really try and get back to that. You get to decide everything. You're the one who's in total control here. So be in control. Figure out what makes you happy and go for it, and don't really worry about what other people think, because it doesn't really matter what other people think. It matters what you think of yourself. It matters whatever relationship you have with your God, universe, creator, whatever. Who gives a fuck what Karen thinks as long as you're good with your God? You know what I mean? So figure out what makes you happy. Fucking do it, boo thang. Do it to it, okay? Virgos and cross watchers, I hope you enjoyed. If you're still here listening, I appreciate you. Like the video, subscribe if you're not already and you enjoy my reading style. Comment and let me know what resonated. Or do none of the above and watch another YouTube video and live your best life, my dudes. Okay? Bye.